afternoon everyone. I've been wanting to film this video for days and days now. Jack, come on, you're going to interrupt me already? I'm working with the babies here to try and get this filmed because Aled is out and I don't want to put them downstairs because I'll be up and down. So there may be a bit of crying and a bit of skipping, but I'll try and do it as smoothly as I can. But yeah, I've been trying to get this video filmed for what feels like days and days. I normally film the week before I put them online, so I would have filmed this last week, like Tuesday, but it's actually going to be live tomorrow. So hi, it's Monday. This was just filmed yesterday, so coming at you right the day before you're watching me. Now, I will be looking at my phone a little bit because I made loads of notes because I don't want to miss anything. I was searching high and low for one of these videos before I had the twins, and I felt like when I packed my bags I was not taking anywhere near enough stuff. So I hope this will help someone out there who is feeling the same way. I don't know how to tell you this, but guys, I used absolutely nothing basically, and I don't even know. I thought I took hardly anything and I could have taken an 1/8, maybe even a 16th of what I packed. So I took a diaper bag which had basically my bits and pieces in, makeup and things like that, and a carry-on suitcase which had all my clothes and all the baby's clothes. So I'm going to run through with you. I will link here actually the previous video of what I packed in my diaper bag and hospital bag, and then you can go and reference to that some of the things. I won't show you everything that I packed because it will just be repeating myself, so go watch that if you haven't and you can see everything that I did take. And now I'm going to run through with you the things that I actually used and the things that are really essential for postpartum, so much that you want them in the house ready or take with you to the hospital just in case. But bear in mind, this is different for everyone. I don't know if every hospital is going to have the same things or the same care that mine did, so take it with a pinch of salt, and by all means overpack. It's better to overpack than underpack, I guess, but for me, I really didn't want to take a lot and I just wished that I didn't take as much as I did because it was just pointless. But let's start from the beginning. So let me just start by saying I did not touch these bags. I was going into a planned C-section, by the way. If you haven't watched my other video, that's very important because if you're doing a vaginal birth, you will need completely different things probably. So I was going for a planned C-section, so I had things that I felt that I would need. So the suitcase and the diaper bag, I didn't actually open them, I think, until the last day. I didn't touch a thing. I had Aled there. If I needed something, he would have got it, but I don't think he even opened them. I can't remember. There may have been like one thing he got out of my diaper bag, but that was it. So yeah, I had envisioned that I would be taking pictures, getting changed, like putting makeup on, moving around. I look back now and I'm like, was I just so drugged up that I don't remember much? Because I feel like I just lay there staring at the wall for 3 days. But I'm sure I didn't at the time. I was probably very tired. So yeah, I just can't believe that I didn't touch any of this stuff. But a lot of it did come in useful, especially once I got home. So anyway, I am rambling. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to make this a quick, short video. And I'm already rambling. So yes, my clothing. I took quite a fair bit of clothing. I did not get out of my hospital gown for the whole entire stay. There's no way I would have wanted to be putting different sorts of clothes on. I had one of those hospital gowns that was like opened up at the front, and the amount of times that nurses come in and midwives come in and they are checking your stomach, your catheter, your blood pressure, everything. You basically just don't have control over anything and you just don't care. So for me to have put on a t-shirt or some sort of, even my robe, I didn't really move. I got up maybe 2 or 3 times, and that was just purely to make sure that I could walk to the toilet without a serious amount of pain and I felt okay to leave. So I did not get changed. The only piece of clothing that I ended up using was my black jumpsuit, which was absolute godsend, if I'm honest. It was one item. I didn't have to worry about anything tight around my stomach. I did think that I would want some sort of support. A lot of people recommended to me those bands, those belly bands, to keep you kind of sucked in, and they said a lot of people told me that you feel like everything's just going to fall out after you had a C-section. I personally didn't want anything tight. It felt sore and I just wanted like the loosest possible sort of clothing around my stomach. So that jumpsuit was perfect. It was one item I could slip on. It zipped up if I needed to nurse the boys, which I didn't. I literally just wore it to get home in the car, and then I got changed again. So that was fine. I could have done with a size up. It was a little bit tight and it was really hot the day we left, and it was quite thick fabric, so I was like, oh my god, I'm boiling. But nothing else that I'd really taken was suitable, and I did not fancy bending down to put on like leggings and different bits and pieces of clothing. So the jumpsuit was great, and I definitely recommend if you can wear like a light dress or anything just like that. So yeah, I was hot a lot during the days in the hospital. I wouldn't have wanted to put any sorts of clothes on. I imagined wearing like a big sweater and leggings. No. Literally just lay there in the bed. Didn't need any sorts of clothes. Underwear, didn't touch any underwear. I used the hospital give some mesh knickers, and to be honest, like, I was only going to the toilet the final day on my own, so I was just wearing their mesh knickers that they provided, which I do recommend you steal some and take them home from the hospital because they come in really handy. Didn't need shoes because the times that I did walk, they had provided me with non-slip socks. Didn't need my socks because again they had the non-slip socks and I was not about to be changing those. I don't think I could even touch my feet. So no need for socks, no need for shoes, no need for flip-flops, any of that stuff. I think that's it as far as clothing goes. The baby clothing, a lot of people told me to take lots of options of outfits because they may spoil on them, sick on them, pee on them, all that stuff. Well, we didn't even dress the babies till the moment that we left. They were just swaddled up in the hospital swaddles. We didn't need to use any clothing till the day we left, and we just had one outfit for each of them, a hat each, and that was it. Done deal. Once we got home, we had everything here. So again, I don't know if all hospitals provide the swaddles and allow you to keep them on them for all that time, but for us, we didn't need to touch a thing as far as baby clothing goes. We didn't need any baby blankets, we didn't need any burp cloths, we didn't need a thing for the babies apart from what they were wearing in the car on the way home. All I would advise is an outfit each, a hat each. One thing I wish that I'd taken that I didn't take was we had these zip up swaddles. Now, I wasn't able to stand up and swaddle the babies. I literally just, Aled handed them to me to feed, and then I handed them back and he would burp and swaddle them. And he really struggled swaddling them with the hospital blankets. We hadn't done a course in this, and maybe he should have watched some videos beforehand and practiced, but he got the midwives to show him, but he was still struggling, especially being so tired and being endless amounts of times of swaddling the twins. He wished that I had taken this Velcro thing to make them snug and it to be really easy for him. So there's a tip, and that's something that I would have taken going back. Another thing that I would recommend taking, we did have a few nights where we were losing the plot with their crying, and it would have been nice to have had a little speaker. We were using our phone to play some baby lullabies and white noise, and it would have been nice to have a little speaker that we didn't have to get up and return back to us because we were using our phone speaker. So we could have just kept that playing. That would have been a worthwhile thing to take also. I have literally just finished feeding them and they're awake and they're just being a little bit fidgety. Here's Jack. And here's Henry. I don't think the light's very good in here, but I will show you them at the end, maybe, if I can. So yeah, that's it in terms of baby things. Going on to things that I did actually use. This was a godsend, a Yeti Cup. I literally filled this with ice water and I was drinking it all the time. Probably the nurses were topping this up. I may have got through like, I don't know, 5 a day, 6 a day. All the time was just using this, so I definitely recommend taking a large cup that could have hot or cold drinks in. A long cabled phone charger is really handy. Aled had hooked that up for me so I could reach it, and the plug was quite far away from my bed, so definitely take one of those. My camera I did end up using on the last day. I used my phone a lot as well, so for pictures and things like that. I took a Polaroid, did not touch that out of the bag. I took my baby journals, did not touch that. you don't feel like doing a lot, in all honesty. Maybe other people do, but I just wanted to lie there and was spaced out and couldn't believe that I was looking after 2 babies, to be honest. So there's that. And then snacks. We took so many snacks and drinks and things, and again, I don't think I ate or drank for a good 20 hours after. I think I may have had a milkshake or something from the hospital, but we didn't really use our snacks, but I would advise taking them. They didn't really offer Aled anything, so he did actually use some of the snacks, and I don't think they normally provide food for husbands and partners, so that's definitely important for them to take things that they may snack on. Going on to toiletries. These I did use. I took my whole makeup bag, didn't touch it until the last day, but it was really nice to have my makeup there to leave the hospital feeling a bit more human. By the 3rd day, I was ready to like shower and feel human, but I wasn't able to shower, so just putting a bit of makeup on and moisturizer on made all the difference. So I would definitely recommend moisturizer. I would definitely recommend hair brushes, hair ties. If you can't shower, it's really nice just to be able to brush your hair and tie your hair up, and it just makes you feel more put together, so that's definitely a must. And one thing that I didn't have that would have been nice was one of those like spritzes. I was really hot, and just to be able to like freshen my face up would have been nice, so I recommend one of those. Vaseline I used a lot. I got really sore lips, don't know why, don't know if it's just being thirsty or I don't know why, maybe the drugs that they give you, who knows, but definitely used a lot of Vaseline and a lot of chapped lips, so take a chapstick. And of course, nipple cream. They gave me hundreds of sachets. I didn't actually end up using this, but I would definitely take it in case, because you just feel like your nipples are going to fall off, so you need something, and if they maybe aren't as generous as the hospital that I was at was, you want to back up. I took 2 pillows. I took my twin feeding pillow, which I don't think we even got out of the car. We had so much stuff and everything going on with the pandemic, we couldn't really go up and down too much, so we left the twin pillow in the car and we didn't end up using it. I was under the impression that I would get a lot more support with the breastfeeding, and a lactation consultant came in for maybe 5-10 minutes and she was quite impressed with how everything was going, so she didn't actually end up coming back, and I thought that they would be helping me position the babies on the pillow and all this stuff, and that didn't really happen, so I didn't need that. But I have got on with it at home and it's been an absolute godsend. So definitely a postpartum essential. Have a twin Z pillow if you're having twins. Even if you don't use it to feed, it's a great thing to have them propped up against and sat up against. So it's really, really useful. I did take my pillow from my bed and I used that. I literally wanted all the pillows that I could. It was great to have the support, and it just felt like really nice cushioning around me when I was in the bed. So that is a must as well, a pillow from home. What else? These, I did speak about these. They are multi-band compression. They're used for nipple pain as well, and they are literally a lifesaver. You could take these to the hospital in case you were really struggling, but definitely you're going to want them postpartum. They're like a piece of tissue, and they have this cold liquid gel on, and they just are amazing. You've got to buy them. They're not very expensive and you can get them on Amazon. I used quite a lot of those, especially coming home that first week or 2. My wash bag I didn't really touch. I probably cleaned my teeth that last day that we left. Obviously I couldn't shower or anything like that, but cleansers, things like that, so you can wash your face. Probably some deodorant. I can't really remember, honestly. Looking back, I can't remember what I did that last day. I just remember putting makeup on and brushing my hair and feeling so much better for doing that. But definitely take a wash bag with things. You never know how you're going to feel, and it's just nice to have that on hand. As far as the hospital goes, that's probably all I touched, all I used. As I said, I really didn't use much. I probably used like 5 items. I can't believe it. I've watched so many of these videos prepping before I went, and I was so frightened that I wasn't taking enough, and people seem to take so much stuff. So if you feel like you're not going to use a lot, trust your instincts, because you probably won't, and that's probably why I didn't use a lot. I didn't want to take a lot, and I was happy just to lie there and chill out for a few days. So going on to postpartum essentials. This, I feel like there's quite a lot of things. I did touch base. Are you going to be like this throughout the whole video? You're a noisy boy, Jack. I bought these pairs of huge briefs from Amazon, and I tried them on pregnant and they were even loose for me then, and I was like, when am I ever going to wear these? But they were a godsend, I tell you. Once I'd kind of finished bleeding and I could wear underwear, these were just so nice. Not tight around my stomach, not loose, and they just felt so, not supportive, but just like snug. So comfy, and just, I honestly can't recommend having something huge like this enough, because it just felt so nice underneath clothing. So I will put the link for these, because I literally don't know what I'd have done without these, and they were only at Amazon, they were cheap, so I'll put a link below for these. Also, I did buy the Always Discreet diapers, I think. Really good coverage, really good size, and you do bleed a lot, and probably for the first week at least I bled a lot, and I just didn't take these off. I lived in them, but I did take a lot of the mesh panties from the hospital home, and I used those until they ran out, and then I switched to these. So I've still got millions of these in the cupboard, but I'm glad I had them as a backup. Oh, the nipple pads. These I got from Amazon. They're reusable, they're washable, they're super soft, and when I first started breastfeeding, I wasn't doing tandem feeding, and I would need these every time I fed them, and especially when we started going out and about. I did not want to have incidences where I was leaking and having marks on my clothing, so these were really essential. And you want this stuff literally from the day you get home, because there's nothing worse than needing something and not knowing how long it's going to take to be delivered. So they're a must. A nursing bra, definitely a must. If you're having one baby especially, you're not going to be needing to tandem feed, and you're going to be wanting to just use the strap downs that come apart. A dressing gown, super easy, super comfy, definitely useful for the house postpartum. I wear mine most days, most mornings, and it's really easy for a couple of feeds just to keep that on and then get dressed later on in the day. I never really get dressed properly unless I know I'm going out. I just can't be bothered, because I have to take all my clothes off so many times a day. So the robe or dressing gown is very handy. Oh, something that I was stocked up on was milk storage bags. Now guys, I didn't really know how much I'd need these or how soon I'd need these, but especially when you're breastfeeding twins, they do urge you to start pumping straight away and start storing milk, and I don't know what I'd have done if I didn't have these on hand. So make sure you get a lot of these in. You can just simply slip the milk in, and you can go and freeze or refrigerate that, and they don't take up much space, so really, really handy. And then last but not least, I will just talk about the breast pump a little bit. I inquired with my hospital about a breast pump, and they told me with twins it's good to get a hospital grade one and rent it from the hospital. So I left it at that, and I thought I was going to get so much help deciding all this stuff at the hospital, and I really didn't. I should have checked with my insurance, I should have been more prepared, and I probably should have just got it in advance. Aled had to go down and get hold of it the day before we left, and we ended up not getting it on insurance, which it wasn't that pricey, but we probably could have got it for free. So definitely make sure you do your research and look into that. I wish I'd found out a bit more about it. That was my bad. So yeah, organize that before you go in if you're looking to buy one or rent one. And then one other thing is the pacifier and pacifier clip. Our midwives and nurses told us not to give these to the babies until they were at least 4 weeks old, and we started out listening to them, but by like day 4 of being home we completely gave up. Honestly, it's so tricky having 2 babies, especially when they're both crying and you just don't know how to soothe them, and all they want to do is suck something. I mean, it has been a godsend to have this. Like, they've been fine feeding, and in times when they're just crying so much, this is the only thing that I can do to help them, especially because I can't hold them both if they're both crying. And I definitely recommend these clips because it stops them dropping on the floor, especially when they're this young. All they ever do is spit them out and they just bounce around. So you can clip this to their clothes or to the chair they're sitting in or to something, and at least if it falls out, you don't have to sterilize it every time. So these are a must in my opinion. But again, take all this advice with a pinch of salt, because every baby's different, every parent's different, everyone has their own ideas of what they want to do and what works for them. So I'm just telling you what's worked for me and what's been helpful for me, because that's what I wanted to hear when I was planning and prepping for these two. I'm so thirsty. I really need some water. I'm trying not to make this too long, and I've already been babbling for 22 minutes. So hopefully when I edit it, it's going to be shorter, because you guys are probably bored sitting listening to me. But I think we're nearly there. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything else actually that I need to mention. In terms of the bags, I probably didn't need a diaper bag and a suitcase. I probably could have just fitted everything in the suitcase. Going home was tricky. We had so much luggage, and we ended up having to get a wheelchair so that a midwife could push me and Aled could carry the two babies in the car seats. In hindsight, I thought I would be helping a little bit. That's why I took the carry-on suitcase, because I thought I could push it with my bag on top, but we had so much stuff, we just needed help carrying it. So that would have been more handy if I didn't take so much stuff. Maybe just one bag, and we wouldn't have needed a wheelchair and someone to help us get out of the hospital. But yeah, I think that's all I can think about. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below. And please guys, if you enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. It helps me get views, and it helps me just in general on YouTube. So thank you for that. I hope I have kind of made sense talking. I think I babble a lot and change context of what I'm speaking about a lot, but I tried, and my mouth is so dry. I need to go get a drink. But yeah, I will see you all next time. I hope you're having a good Tuesday.